Weak legs after 60 aren't something you have to just accept. But if you ignore it, over time it takes away a lot more than people expect. It affects how easily you get up from a chair, how fast stairs wear you out, and how confident you feel walking out the door each day. What I see all the time is people assuming their legs are weak simply because they're older. That's not really the full picture. Muscles weaken because they stop getting the right signals, and they don't get enough of the nutrients they need to repair themselves the way they once did. I've worked with adults over 50 for many years, and one thing keeps coming up. Age by itself doesn't weaken your legs as quickly as the way you eat every day. Food has a much bigger impact on leg strength than most people realize. In this video, I'm going to share 8 common, easy-to-find foods that can help your legs feel stronger, steadier, and stay that way longer. And there's one food in particular that's very common. Many people eat it almost every day, but they're using it the wrong way, and it's quietly making their legs weaker. Before we get to that, you need to understand what's really happening inside your muscles after 50. After 50, weak legs aren't just about getting a few more years on you. They happen because real changes take place inside the muscles, and most people are never clearly told about that. The first change is recovery. When you walk, stand up, sit down, or do chores around the house, your muscles still wear down like they always have. The difference is they don't repair themselves as fast as they did when you were 30 or 40. At the same time, the signals from your brain down to your muscles start to weaken. Your brain is still sending the message, but the connection isn't as clear as it used to be. That's why your legs react more slowly, your steps feel less steady. Sometimes when you stand up, it takes a few seconds before you feel balanced. Many people think that's a joint problem, but in a lot of cases, it comes from weaker nerve signals. There's also something else going on, and it's quieter. Low-level inflammation. You don't feel sharp pain. You don't have a fever. Nothing looks swollen, but the inflammation is there day after day. It makes muscles tire faster, grow weaker over time, and recover more slowly after activity. That's why some people say they aren't doing anything strenuous, yet their legs keep getting weaker. On top of that, muscles don't make energy as efficiently anymore. Years ago, a regular meal could fuel you for hours. After 50, if certain nutrients are missing, your muscles can't produce steady energy. The result is simple. A short walk feels tiring. A few steps on the stairs make your legs feel heavy. So many people respond by exercising more. They walk longer. They push harder. But here's the problem. Exercise is just the signal. It tells the muscles they need to get stronger. The materials to repair and rebuild those muscles have to come from food. Without those materials, the muscles hear the signal but can't do much with it. I see plenty of people who walk regularly, even exercise every day, yet their legs still get weaker, not because they're lazy, because their muscles don't have what they need to recover after each effort. When you exercise without eating right, muscles get more tired, not stronger. This is what a lot of people miss. Movement alone isn't enough. After 50, movement and nutrition have to work together. If one is missing, results don't show up. Once you understand what's really happening inside your muscles, it becomes clear why certain foods matter so much. Some are very common, inexpensive, and easy to find. Used the right way, they give muscles the raw materials they need to recover. One of them is something almost every household has, but many people aren't using it correctly. That's where we start. Eggs. Eggs are one of the most misunderstood foods after 50. A lot of people still eat eggs all the time, but they're not getting the benefits they think they are. When it comes to muscle, especially leg muscle, eggs aren't just something quick to eat. They're one of the best sources of building material your muscles use to repair themselves and keep their strength. The first thing that matters is the protein in eggs. It's a type of protein your body handles very well. After 50, protein absorption drops. You might be eating the same as you always have, but your muscles are getting less out of it. Eggs help make up for that because your body can use most of the protein in eggs without much being wasted. But eggs aren't only about protein. The yolk has nutrients your muscles need to work properly. Some of those nutrients help the brain send clear signals down to the leg muscles so they can tighten and relax. When you're low on them, those signals weaken, movements slow down, standing up takes longer. I hear this a lot when people tell me their legs don't feel as quick or responsive as they used to. The issue is that many people don't eat eggs the right way. Some stick to just the whites. Others cook eggs until they're very overdone. When that happens, you lose part of the benefit. For most people, eating the whole egg and cooking it just until it's done works best. It doesn't need to be fancy, boiled, lightly poached, or a gently cooked fried egg is enough. Timing matters too. After you walk, do housework, or do light activity, your muscles are ready to recover. If you eat eggs around that time, your body can use them better. If you finish moving and don't eat anything helpful, the muscles have nothing to repair with, and that effort just leaves you more tired. I see a lot of people who eat very little, especially in the morning. They think it makes them feel lighter. The problem is their muscles never get enough material to hold on to strength. In those cases, eggs are a very practical option. Easy to find, easy to cook, not expensive, and when they are used the right way, the difference is noticeable. Eggs help muscles maintain themselves. But for your legs to have steady energy through the day, you need something else. You need a more consistent energy source, and that's where oats come in. Oats are something a lot of people already have in the kitchen, but they're often overlooked when it comes to leg strength. Most people think of oats as something that just fills you up, or maybe helps the heart, but for leg muscles after 50, oats do a lot more than most people realize. Here's what I see all the time. Someone eats breakfast, and not long after, they still feel worn out. They do a few light chores, and their legs already feel tired. That's not because the muscles suddenly got weaker overnight. It's because the muscles don't have steady energy to work with. Oats help fix that. They give slow, even energy, not the ups and downs you get from sweets or white bread. When you eat oats the right way, your leg muscles have fuel that lasts for hours. That makes a real difference if you're on your feet a lot. Standing to cook, doing housework, or just trying to walk without your legs feeling heavy after a few minutes. A lot of people focus only on protein, but muscles need energy first before they can actually use that protein. Oats also contain nutrients that help muscles relax after they tighten. When those are missing, legs tire faster and feel tight, especially later in the day. That's why some people say they didn't do anything strenuous, yet by evening their legs feel completely drained. Using oats doesn't have to be complicated. Choose plain, less processed oats. Eat them in the morning or before a day when you'll be more active. And it helps to pair oats with a source of protein, like eggs or yogurt, so your muscles get both energy and the materials they need to recover. Oats help give your leg muscles endurance, but for muscles to be not just steady, but also stronger, you need another food that supports both strength and staying power. And that's where sweet potatoes come in. Sweet potatoes are one of the simplest foods out there, but they're often overlooked when it comes to leg strength. A lot of people think of sweet potatoes as just starch, something that fills you up. But for leg muscles after 50, they do more than that. What I see all the time is poor endurance. People aren't completely weak, but they get tired fast. They walk for a short time and feel the need to stop. They climb stairs and their legs start to feel heavier with each step. In many cases, the muscles aren't actually too weak. They just can't hold on to energy, and they don't handle longer activity very well. Sweet potatoes help right at that point. They provide steady energy, similar to oats, but they also support muscle strength at the same time. When you eat sweet potatoes, your leg muscles have enough fuel to contract firmly, then relax the way they should. That matters for everyday movements. Getting up from a chair, stepping onto a curb, keeping your balance while you walk. Another thing many people don't notice is how sweet potatoes help muscles last longer because of the nutrients they contain. When those are missing, muscles tire faster, cramp more easily, or lose strength toward the end of the day. I hear this often. People say they feel fine earlier on, but by late afternoon or evening, their legs suddenly feel weak. That's a common sign the muscles aren't getting enough support. Using sweet potatoes is straightforward. Keep the skin on if you can. Steaming or baking works best. Try to avoid frying. Eat them before you go for a walk, do housework, or spend a lot of time on your feet. When the timing is right, sweet potatoes help your leg strength stay steady instead of fading halfway through the day. They aren't exotic or expensive, but when you use them regularly and the right way, the difference in your legs is clear, not just stronger, but more stable. Still, for leg muscles to stay strong, steady, and also hold on to muscle over time, you need another group of foods. These help slow down muscle loss that comes with age, and that's where black beans come in. Black beans are a very familiar food, but when it comes to muscle after 50, a lot of people don't pay much attention to them. Most folks think of black beans as something that helps digestion, or just a way to add some beans to a meal. But for leg muscles, they play a very different role. What I see pretty often is this. Legs don't just feel weaker. Over time, they slowly lose muscle. There's no sharp pain, no injury, but pants start to feel looser around the thighs. Standing up takes more effort than it used to. Those are signs that muscle is being lost little by little, and many people don't notice it happening. Black beans help slow that process. Black beans provide plant-based protein, and what matters here is how the body uses it. This kind of protein doesn't feel heavy in the stomach and doesn't make you feel sluggish, but it still gives muscles what they need to hold on to size. For people who eat less meat now or find meat harder to digest, black beans are a very practical choice. They also help reduce low-level inflammation inside the muscles. This kind of inflammation doesn't cause obvious pain, but over time it weakens muscle and slows recovery after activity. Black beans help by creating a better environment for muscles to maintain strength and repair themselves. Another point I often talk about with patients is digestion. If your gut isn't working well, muscles won't get what they need, even if you're eating the right foods. Black beans help support beneficial gut bacteria, which improves how nutrients are absorbed for muscle health. A lot of people miss this connection. You don't need to overthink it. About half a cup a day is enough. You can eat them with brown rice, whole grain bread, or add them to dinner. For many people, eating them in the evening gives muscles material to use while the body rests overnight. Black beans help maintain muscle, but there are still days when you eat less, have trouble chewing, or just don't feel like eating much. In those moments, you need a protein source that's easier to use, and that's where plain Greek yogurt becomes very helpful. Plain Greek yogurt is a very practical option for days when you don't eat as well as usual. After 50, a lot of people don't feel like eating much, or chewing just isn't as comfortable anymore. But your muscles still need fuel every single day. And when they don't get it, strength drops fast. This is where Greek yogurt really helps. It provides protein that's easy to use, doesn't require much chewing, and doesn't sit heavy in the stomach. For leg muscles, it's a source the body can take in quickly, especially after you've been active or when you're feeling worn out. I see a lot of people skip small meals, especially later in the afternoon or in the evening. They think eating less will make them feel lighter, but the result is that muscles have nothing to recover with overnight. A single cup of plain Greek yogurt at that time can make a real difference. The muscles get what they need. And the next morning, that heavy feeling in the legs is often noticeably less. Beyond protein, Greek yogurt also helps muscles and bones work better together. When that coordination isn't good, legs can feel weak and steps feel less steady. I see this pretty often, especially in people who've avoided dairy for a long time. Digestion matters too. If your gut isn't working well, muscles won't get enough nutrients, even if you're eating the right foods. Plain Greek yogurt helps bring things back into balance, so what you eat actually reaches your muscles. Using it is simple. Choose the unsweetened kind, eat it on its own or with low sugar fruit. Use it as a snack or after light activity. Greek yogurt helps refill things quickly, but for leg muscles to move smoothly, keep good balance, and get enough minerals day to day. There's another group of foods that matters a lot, and that's dark leafy greens. Dark leafy greens are a food group a lot of people don't eat enough of, especially after 50. It's not because they dislike them. It's more that many people see vegetables as something you eat just to round out a meal. When it comes to leg muscles, that way of thinking means you're missing something important. Here's what I see pretty often. Someone eats enough protein and stays active, but their legs feel a little shaky. Balance isn't as steady. Their steps don't feel as solid as they used to. A lot of the time, it's not that the muscles are getting weaker. It's that the muscles are missing key minerals they need to work smoothly. Dark leafy greens help right there. These greens contain minerals that help muscles contract and relax at the right time. When those are low, muscles tire faster, feel tighter, and react more slowly when you change direction or stand up. That has a direct effect on balance and how safe you feel moving around. Dark leafy greens also support the nervous system. Signals from the brain down to the leg muscles need the right environment to travel clearly. When you're low on the nutrients found in these greens, those signals can weaken. That's when people say their legs don't quite respond the way they expect. You don't need to make this complicated. One serving of dark leafy greens a day is enough. Spinach, kale, or other dark greens all work. You can lightly saute them, steam them, or mix them into meals. You don't need a large portion at once. What matters is being consistent. Dark leafy greens help leg muscles work more steadily and keep balance more reliable. But to reduce inflammation in the muscles, protect the joints, and provide healthy fats muscles need, there's another food that matters, and that's where sardines come in. Sardines are one of the most overlooked foods when it comes to leg muscles after 50. A lot of people see sardines and think they're just canned fish, something quick and convenient. But for muscles and joints, sardines do a few important jobs at the same time that very few foods can match. Here's what I see pretty often. Someone exercises regularly and eats fairly well, but their legs always feel heavy or stiff. It's worse in the morning or after sitting for a long time. In many cases, it's not that the muscles are getting weaker. It's low-level inflammation inside the muscles and around the joints. Sardines work right at that level. Sardines are rich in healthy fats that help calm ongoing inflammation. When inflammation goes down, muscles recover better after activity, joints feel less stiff, standing up gets easier, walking feels lighter. That heavy, weighed down feeling in the legs starts to ease. Another benefit is that sardines provide both protein and key minerals muscles need. Protein helps maintain muscle size. Minerals help muscles contract and relax the right way. When those are low, muscles tire easily, cramp more often, and react more slowly. Sardines provide all of this in a fairly small serving, so they don't leave you feeling overly full. I also talk a lot about bones when it comes to sardines. Sardines have soft bones that you can eat. Those bones provide natural calcium, which helps bones and muscles work together better. When bones aren't strong enough, muscles have to work harder just to keep you balanced. Over time, that leads to quicker fatigue. Sardines help take some of that load off. Using sardines isn't complicated. Canned sardines in water or olive oil are both fine. 2 or 3 times a week is enough for most people. Pair them with greens or whole grain bread. You don't need a large portion. Sardines help reduce inflammation, protect joints, and let leg muscles move more easily. But if you want to build more strength and support deeper recovery, there's another fish that does that very well. And that's where natural salmon comes in. Natural salmon is one of the strongest foods for helping leg muscles recover after 50, not because it's rare, but because many people don't eat enough of it, or they pick the wrong kind. When it's used the right way, salmon makes a clear difference in muscle strength and how quickly muscles recover. Here's what I see often. Someone adds more protein and eats better than before, but their legs still bounce back slowly. They walk one day and feel sore the next. They do light exercise and it takes several days to feel normal again. Most of the time, it's because the muscles aren't getting deep enough support to repair themselves. Salmon helps right there. Natural salmon provides high-quality protein that works especially well for muscles after 50. This kind of protein helps rebuild muscle fibers more effectively. It doesn't just maintain strength, it can improve it. When you eat salmon regularly, muscles feel less sore and respond faster. Standing up feels more solid. Walking feels steadier. Beyond protein, salmon is rich in healthy fats that reduce deeper inflammation inside the muscles. This isn't the kind of inflammation that causes sharp pain. It's the quiet kind that slowly weakens muscles over time. When that inflammation comes down, muscles repair better during rest, especially overnight. Many people notice this when they wake up, and their legs feel lighter and less stiff. Another benefit is how salmon supports the nervous system. Signals from the brain to the muscles need a stable environment to travel quickly and clearly. The nutrients in salmon help with that, so you don't just feel stronger, movements feel smoother. You're less slow when changing direction or keeping your balance. Using salmon doesn't have to be complicated. Choose natural salmon without heavy seasoning. Lightly pan cook it, bake it, or steam it. For most people, twice a week is enough. You don't need a large portion. What matters is being consistent. But there's one important thing many people miss. No single food works on its own. Salmon is powerful, but it works best alongside the foods we talked about earlier. Protein rebuilds muscle, carbohydrates provide energy, minerals control contraction and relaxation. Healthy fats reduce inflammation. Vitamins support nerves and circulation, and good digestion helps your body absorb all of it. Once you understand how foods work together, it's clear why relying on just one good food isn't enough, and that's what we need to talk about next. Here's the most important thing to remember. Your leg muscles don't work off one single nutrient. They work as part of a whole system that has to work together. When you focus on just one good food, something is always missing. First is protein. Protein is what muscles use to repair and rebuild every day. Each time you walk, stand up, or climb stairs, muscle fibers wear down a little. If there isn't enough protein, the muscles don't have the material they need to fix that damage. Over time, strength fades, often without you noticing right away. But protein alone isn't enough. Muscles need energy to actually use that protein. That's where good carbohydrates come in. When energy is low, muscles tend to hold back. They don't repair well, and they don't get stronger. You end up feeling tired quickly. even if you're eating enough protein. I see this all the time. Next are minerals. Minerals control how muscles tighten and relax at the right moment. When you're low on them, muscle movement isn't smooth. Muscles feel tight, they tire easily. Reactions can slow down when you change direction or stand up. That unsteady feeling often starts here. Healthy fats matter too. They help calm ongoing, low-level inflammation in the muscles and around the joints. This isn't the kind of inflammation that causes sharp pain. It's the kind that quietly weakens muscles over time. When inflammation drops, muscles recover faster, joints feel lighter, and that heavy leg feeling eases. Vitamins act like connectors. They support nerves and circulation, so signals from the brain reach the muscles more clearly. When the nervous system works smoothly, movement feels smoother too. Less hesitation, less stumbling, less effort just to stand up or start walking. And finally, digestion. If digestion isn't working well, the nutrients you eat don't get absorbed properly. Muscles don't get what they need, even when meals look fine. That's why some people eat right but still don't see results. When you look at your body this way, things start to make sense. It's not about eating more. It's about eating in a way that lets foods support each other. When that foundation is solid, your legs respond. Now let's talk about what most people care about the most, the real outcome of these changes and why it's worth starting today. The final result of all this is pretty simple. When your legs are stronger, you can do more without having to think about it so much. Getting up is easier. Walking feels steadier. Going out to run errands, watch your grandkids, or just move around the house feels safer. That's the difference I notice most. And there's something I always say plainly. It's never too late to improve leg strength. I've seen plenty of people start later than they expected and still make real progress. Not because they did anything extreme. They just started in the right place and stayed consistent. You don't have to change everything at once. Start small, add one good food to your meals, pay a little more attention to what you heard today. When the foundation shifts, the body responds. If you found this helpful, tap like so I know. Subscribe if you want more topics that help your body move better over time. And if you'd like, leave a comment. Tell me which food you're going to start adding to your routine. I read them. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to start.